Hi there. Welcome to my day one review of The Outer Worlds. Friday, October the 25th, 2019 was the release date for The Outer Worlds, the most recent offering from Obsidian Entertainment, a game that has been much anticipated and greeted with a large amount of excitement because it's been produced by Obsidian Entertainment, the people behind Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas is a game which, by popular acclaim, is thought to be the best Fallout game ever produced, and is in absolute stark contrast to the most recent Fallout offering from Bethesda, the garbage fest, broken, utter mess known as Fallout 76. Bethesda, instead of fixing Fallout 76, doubled down and a couple of days before The Outer Worlds was released, announced their latest the subscription scheme known as Fallout First, which people can pay at least $100 a year for, and has since been proven to be launched broken and not working. So I came to The Outer Worlds with a degree of excitement, and the first question in my mind was, is it finished? Does it work? Is it broken? And after just the first day of playing, my answer to those questions are yes, it is finished, yes, it does work, and no, it's not broken. So I'm going to review my experience so far and to let you know that this game is most definitely worth getting. It is a game that puts Bethesda to absolute shame, and a game which shows that Obsidian are indeed an excellent game company. There will be some minor spoilers in this video, but nothing that will significantly impact the game and your enjoyment of the game. So let's start. Right at the very beginning of the game, you are invited to create a new character, and the character creation options are quite extensive. You can create either a male or a female character, and you can choose any skin colour, well, any natural skin colour that you want. I haven't been able to find red, blue or green skins, but certainly any of the real life options are there in-game for you to choose. The hairstyles are generic and can apply to either the male or female characters, and as are the facial hair options, can apply to both male and female characters. So it is possible to produce a bearded lady if that's your particular desire, and with the application of makeup you can also go for what looks like a green skin, because you can basically smear the face in green makeup. You will see from the PC character that I've created that I've gone for a very old looking green guy with a Mohican haircut, just because I can. You have 6 main attributes, which I covered in the Getting Started video, so I don't feel I need to go over again, and a wide range of skills that you can select to choose from. But more importantly than that, how does the game play itself? Well, as you can see from some of these screenshots, the environment is beautiful. And as you head towards the first major settlement, Edgewater, and look into the sky, there are 3 other planets in close orbit to the planet we're on, and it looks as if the planet itself has got a ring system of its own. The graphics are beautiful, which is more than you can say for some of the games that are released these days. The humour in there is excellent, on point, and one of the first encounters you have is with a guy called Hawthorne, who is meant to be meeting you and showing you around. The problem with Hawthorne is that he's a blithering idiot, and instead of placing the beacon and moving away, he placed the beacon and stayed with the beacon so that your landing pod landed right on top of him. So early in the game you're greeted with this image that you've squashed him, and so you start to think, is this world full of idiots? And as you progress in the game, the answer to that question is clearly, oh yes. This game is also majorly critical of the influence that corporations have on people's lives. And the developers have taken this to whatever extreme you can think of. And again, an early example of this is when you meet Silas outside of Edgewater, who tells you that you have to hire your own grave and you have to pay gravesite fees because the corporation owns everything about you. One of the early storylines involves a suicide in which you find that people are regarded as company assets, and if you should decide to commit suicide, then you are guilty of destroying company assets, and that the people closest to you at the time of death, not necessarily blood relatives, but the people relatively close to you physically, end up having to pay your gravesite fees, or if it's deemed to be such a massive waste of assets, the whole town has to pay a fine for the actions of this individual. And every dialogue you have in Edgewater is heavily influenced by the company, Spacer's Choice. And it does create a world in which you think, wow, these corporations really are out of control, owning everything. It's highlighted as well by the fact that the colony ship that you're on has been missing for 70 years. It was only initially meant to take 10 years to get to the colony, and you'll see from the opening cinematics that something's gone wrong with that, and eventually everybody gave up on the colony ship and its occupants, to the point that it's now regarded as a, not so much a rumour, but a myth, and that there is, in the eyes of the people of Edgewater, no evidence that Hope ever existed, or that it might still exist, or that indeed your character is a survivor from that ship. So again, early on, you have got this story set up that nobody believes who you are. Nobody believes that you're a colonist from this colony ship. And you're warned quite forcibly to not speak about it, or else. But so far I haven't found out what that or else is. So I think the concept of the story is excellent, and it really does take some modern day themes like the influence of corporations to an extreme that is actually scary but believable, because as you can see evidence now of corporations getting out of control, then this is a kind of a natural extension of that into the future world. Let's now have a look at the game mechanics. There is plenty of loot to pick up that's lying around the world. There is also some good stuff hidden behind locks, for which you need mag picks and other components. Each item that you use in both the armor and the weapon category has a natural degradation, which means that on regular occasions you will need to repair it, and obviously that repair requires ingredients. For weapons you need weapon parts, and for armor you need armor parts. Sometimes you will find those things lying around near workshops. Other times you will need to break down duplicate items that you've picked up in your travels. If you have an engineering skill of, I believe, 20 or above, you can carry out repairs in the field, but failing that, you will need to go to find a workshop. The first workshop you come across is on board your newly acquired ship, the Unreliable, which when it was launched was actually called the Reliable, but somebody has changed the name to give you an indication of maybe the history of the ship and what it's been doing in the past. But there are other workshops dotted around the various settlements, so it's not that difficult to find a workshop to repair your gear. You can modify the gear if you can find the mods or buy them from a vending machine. You can tinker with the items, which means you can spend resources to improve things like the damage that a weapon will do, or improve the armor rating of a piece of clothing. And as I say, you can break down spare items to provide you with the relevant parts. So far I found that mechanic works absolutely fine. I've had no issues with it, no bugs. The only time I did have an issue was when I hadn't realised I was on the breakdown menu and actually broke down an important piece of kit that I wanted to keep, so that required a reload of an autosave. That is also another useful part of the game, is that the game will do 3 autosaves. So if you do mess up, you have the potential to go back to one of the autosaves and restart and avoid the mistake that you made, which is all very well and good. It's a mechanic that works. One game mechanic I have not yet come across is how to recruit a companion. And companions in previous Fallout games have been very useful adjuncts to the main character, who have been able in the past to carry inventory, fight some battles for you. And at the moment I'm in the middle of Fallout New Vegas, and I've got a character that is extremely good at shooting them from range with guns, which is really helpful. I don't yet know how the companions are going to work in the Outer Worlds, but so far from what I've seen, I think they will probably work out just fine, and there may well be other videos out on YouTube where people have been able to explore the companion mechanic, and I would suggest you search them out if you want a bit more information on that. So, my overall impressions on day one is that this game is indeed excellent. It is a game that shows what Bethesda should have striven for with Fallout 76, and it's a game which shows what BioWare should have striven for with Anthem. In other words, there is no excuse for the AAA games companies, as they like to call themselves, releasing the amount of garbage that they are releasing into the market. Coincidentally, maybe, or maybe not, the garbage that these companies are releasing are also live services games. And the Outer Worlds is most definitely not one of those. There are no microtransactions in this game. There doesn't appear to be much scope or need for microtransactions. The single player campaign so far is hilarious in parts, shocking in others, but nonetheless completely engaging. So I would give, so far on my day one review, a very healthy 9 out of 10 for this game, and would certainly recommend you go out and buy it. It's worth your money. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, press the like button, and share this video like crazy so that the algorithm has more chance to pick it up and recommend it to other people. Any help you can give in growing this channel would be greatly appreciated, and I will see you next time with a more detailed video of the exploration of Edgewater, the first major settlement in the Outer Worlds. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.